Matching hundreds. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Throwing, Winston. He's got Lockett. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. On this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
And I know, just like me, you're fired up about this one because this is the irresistible object and the immovable force. They're going head-to-head, #1 versus #1. I've talked about that running backs renaissance for a while. Can they slow these guys down? Where's my helmet? I want to play.
Jeez, you are fired up. Something's got to give. And they'll go on the ground. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ford. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. So here are the Seahawks now with a long field in front of them. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 30.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Andre Howell, the one to bring him down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. The cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills, you get the full package with him.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And we will not see another play as time has run out on this first quarter. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. They go play action. Winston. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Christian Kirk, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Black 25. Let's go.
Play fake. Winston. Man open. That's Kiki QT complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Ready. Blue lady. Wait, got it.
Winston now to throw on first down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Ready. White 25.
From the gun, Winston. Incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Ready. Blue lady.
Again, it's Winston. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Flacco looking for his first toss. And his first throw here is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Suckup will put this one right through. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, some strong running. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
they
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Here we go now.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of Central Casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Christian Kirk with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Hauschka with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And penalty markers down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Defense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
All right, now, look at 56.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
All right, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
And it's caught. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll set up a throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Flacco here on 2nd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. Finding some room at midfield. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll kick things off in the NFC West. A match that's once again NorCal versus SoCal. Los Angeles, San Francisco. And this one already a 2-touchdown game as they've just gone to halftime. Jay Ajayi, a touchdown run in that first half. From there, we head cross-country to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Andy Dalton, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. The Browns trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
And this is Gabriel on the catch. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now back to throw. His throw incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Now let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Ashawn Robinson there on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 3 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Wide open, Gronkowski. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Rob Gronkowski, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now they can't bring him down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
This is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Taylor Gabriel, his 17th touchdown now on the season, and the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it.
And it's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Flacco. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And on the ground they go with a running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. second down. Flacco now. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. The Cardinals on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Flacco. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals cut into that lead.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
It feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
On the return, here's Justin Hardy. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now Manning. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off around the 37. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turn over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. A good pickup there, a 22.
Got to love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. To throw, it's Manning. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Eric Decker, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Flacco from the gun. And his throw is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Throw left side, complete to QT. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. They go pass again with Flacco. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Play action. Flacco. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 41. Nifty footwork at the 45. There he goes, right side. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Now you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
Now Hausch going to tack on the extra point. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks defense working their way back out onto the field. They did their job coming into the hostile environment, doing what needed to be done to get the W.
And that has to feel great because all during the week, that's one of the goals that they talked about. Going on the road, making that stadium their own, establishing themselves in the game. Give them credit. They got all of those things done.
Yeah, both sides of the football did their job in this one. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They model this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for Arizona, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on
All right, gentlemen, we made way too many mistakes this week, okay? The coaching staff has gone in. We've simplified the game plan. Let's go out here and execute. Hey, we got to execute to win.
You all set? You got blue 80? Boy, set. Set. Blue 88. Set. You got blue 88. Blue 8, set. Now set. You got blue 80. Blue 8, set. Blue 8, set. Blue 8, set. Go set. Go blue 88. Blue 8, set. Set. Blue 8, set. Blue 8, set.
Hey, man, that was great. I mean, you had a great day today. You finally getting it. You're starting to turn the corner, and that's what we like to see as a coaching staff. Show us some more.
Set. Blue 88. Blue 8, set. Field set. Blue 88. Blue 8, set. Set. Blue 80. Blue 8, set. Set. Yeah, blue 80. Set. Set. Yeah, blue 80. Blue 8, set. Set. Blue 88. Set. Set. Blue 80. Blue 88, set. Set. Blue 80. Blue 8, set. Set. Blue 80. Blue 88, set. Set. Blue 80. Blue 8, set. Blue 8, set. 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 Blue 88. Set. Blue 88. Blue 8, set. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Blue 8, set. Set. Blue 80. Blue 8, set. Set. Blue 88. Blue 8, set. Set. Blue 80. Blue 8, set. Set. Blue 80. Blue 8, set. Set. Blue 88. Blue 88, set. 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 Blue 80.
All right, man. Bring it in tight. Bring it in tight. All right, let me tell you something. Today was great. You guys went out there and executed flawlessly. You keep practicing like that, we are going to win a lot of ball games this year.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They go play action here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction.
He's got a man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain of 39 that time.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now Foles to the right side. It's Kelsey. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? So who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? Third and short, they elect to throw for it. And that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on third and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. This a 43-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Manning again here on 2nd and 10. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Manning. Wide open receiver complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for...
And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Working from the gun, Manning. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Manning now on first down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Evan Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, but they face a second and long to start things out. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football.
Still third down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still third and long. Foles finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Eli Manning and company getting set here as they head back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that.
And that's caught inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. On play action, now Manning. And his throw here is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Back to the air on second down. It's Manning. And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he Just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
On 3rd and long, it's Manning. He's going to rifle one deep. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
He'll get it up the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Manning now on 3rd and goal. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of what they're looking for here. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Here's Foles. It's Kelsey on the ground. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Going for his line back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They'll drop the throw. Over the middle, complete to Tate. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept him on their toes. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Golden Tate as the first half is winding down. And the Rams have got this back to a 1-score game. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after's up and good, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. A 10-play drive that time, and it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. This is fielded at the goal line. Uses the spin. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it first and 10.
Zebra.
On first and 10, here's Manning. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Second and 10 now from the 27.
Kill it. Zebra.
They fake the handoff. Now Manning. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Eric Decker, the intended target. And it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Regular.
One final try now for Manning. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports halftime. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick, please? Thank you. All right, let's go. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with it. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They run with Ajayi. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. Powers ahead at the 45. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Still going. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Manning going to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 18 yards there, down to the 18 and a first down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Manning now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Into the red zone now. Manning. Tough to bring Bryant down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Christian Kirk with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now it's Ajayi. Ajayi hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Still shedding tackles. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Throwing on first down is Manning. Looking deep for Gabriel. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Manning now on first down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Nothing much more rewarding than that for a guy catching it.
Not at all. And with what we just saw there, that type of a one-handed catch, what's next? Maybe they go up and almost Velcro with their jersey in the ball. That's about all that's left. That play, simply spectacular.
So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Not much more impressive than that. Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 20. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Play action. Manning. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Manning now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Manning. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Christian Kirk with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
Into
heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Trying to get it that time to Stills. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll run it now out of the gun. Stays on his feet. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Throwing is Manning on third down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Now Manning, and he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. Manning. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The veteran safety, George Iloka, there to break that one up. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on first and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at third and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
False start. Offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Now Foles. It's caught. Stills right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. but they're also looking forward now because now these...
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jabal Sheard in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays.
But now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Working from the gun. Manning. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Seahawks,